playing around with this app called StreamYard, which allows me to connect with different people and stream us all together. And then you can do a lot of stuff with it. So if you're looking for a technology that you can connect with different people, then this one is a good option. And I'm just learning it. So bear with me as I am a caveman and I'm learning these different functions. So tonight, I'm going to talk about passion games, and there's going to be some people potentially joining, but they're in different countries. Somebody has a Wi-Fi concern and traveling, and so who knows who's joining. And here we go. I am Marcus Merlin, and I enjoy going by the name Merlin as I've thought of this mystical character since I was a kid, and the ability to connect with the natural magic around, earth magic, and bring that energy to everything we do. And I am here in Costa Rica building, designing. I also have a real estate team in the States and remodeling and helping families with homes and helping dreams come true is really my passion. And so my biggest passion now and has always been to cause dreams to be fulfilled and listen and learn and throw ideas and energy and visions and create dreams being fulfilled. Right now, I'm really passionate about the vision of what if the world was to shut down and somebody was trying to control what type of food we had, what poisons they put on it, what was in our water, where we can go and what we can do. Just in case that was to happen, how do we be self-generative like a village was for thousands of years? How do we create that? So right now I'm really passionate about bringing people together for a retreat. It's called Find Your Why. And we come together about 22 people, 17 to 22 people for 12 days, and we transform our way of thinking. We let go of the past, take full responsibility, and let go of everything there is to let go. So we're just clean slate. Connect with the inner child, play, passion games, clarify our why we're doing what we're doing. Some people are just doing a job and they're like, what do you do? Oh, and they're talking about their job instead of what do they love to do, instead of what lights them up. Like, oh, I go hiking, I go to waterfalls, I go to the beach, I play with my dog, I design stuff, I create stuff. So the different things that light up our heart, not just the things that we do for our job, is who we are. A lot of us think and are caught up in this matrix where between sleeping and eating, it's absorbing 75-80% of our life. Like, think about that. How many of you, between sleeping, eating, and working is like 80% or more of your life? Not saying it's a bad or a good thing. I'm just pointing out that, soon some of you are already, and soon all of us will be 80 or 90 years old. And we're going to be looking back at those things that we really said we wanted to do. And yet we were too busy because we were doing that thing. We were doing this. We were doing something else. And maybe it aligns and maybe it doesn't. So let's just bring some awareness now to our passion games and what lights us up. I have a guest here. Who is this guest? Ah, it's Tala Soul. We have Taya Soul. Hello? Hello, Talia. Unmute. Can you hear me? What a surprise. Unmute. Can you hear me, Mrs. Talia? I'm gonna send her a new link just in case. Going on here. Bear with me as I invite our guest. What I'm really connected to is passion games. What I'm really connected to is guiding people back to their inner child, back to a place of full manifestation, play, creation, where in the morning when you wake up, you're so excited about the list of the different things you get to do that day that the world becomes a playground. The world becomes a playground. The people around you are the kids in the playground, and we're living our passion game. Talia? Hello? Hello, brother T-Cone.
Hello. Sorry for my
How are
tardiness.
Hey,
Um,
well, time like the present, right?
Here we go. Um,
And
we're not live, right?
we are live.
We are live. Okay, so maybe I don't share everything that's happening with me.
Ah,
Oh man.
Talia's trying to join, and I wonder if she has the old link. Would you be able to send her the newest link that I just now sent, the same one that you used, and make sure she uses that one? Let me see if she
Yeah.
joins in. Okay. And I was in the middle of talking about passion games and my passion for creating
I'm
connection
forwarding
with
it
people.
to her right now.
Awesome. So while we
You
wait
should
for
have it.
her,
It says she's
let me know.
maybe you,
Uh-huh.
you have a slight delay in your voice. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. There's a delay in my
Well, it sounds good and then it'll cut out for a second.
huh.
Talk for a second again.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, check you got full bars on your connection?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Whew. Man, what a day.
So can you hear me okay? Is there like a weird delay?
There's a slight delay, but I don't know if it's just me. Let's see with Talia when she gets the call. I gotta grab water real quick, man.
Talia Soul, where are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, who's that?
How great. Hey, my name's Sol.
Oh, Soul, how are you?
I'm well. I'm in Long Island, New York right now, visiting family.
Okay. And are you who shared the link with you?
One of my good spirit friends I made recently named Riley Dow shared this link
Right.
with me.
Yeah. All
Yeah, do
right.
you know that name?
I know Riley.
Oh, great. Then I don't need to give him any introduction.
Yeah, he did the last retreat with us. We met him in Guatemala Mystical Yoga Farm, and he came to Mosen, Costa Rica.
Yeah, and he was telling me he was gonna be working at Mystical Yoga Farm again, and I was hoping to try to catch him while he's there.
Beautiful. We're waiting for Ticone to join. I hope you get to catch him. And then I was talking about my passion for causing dreams to be fulfilled and connecting us to our why. And with our why, playing passion games that are in alignment with our why. Ticone, this is Soul. This is a friend of Riley.
Ah, okay, cool. I thought it was Talia Soul not connected to the call.
Too. So I'm just
Well,
gonna take like 2 minutes, and I wanted to show you guys my passion game. And one of my games is to slow down this year. And inside of that, one of my passion games is guitar. And I'm passionate about learning guitar this year. And so I'm just kind of gonna flow a little bit and have fun and let my inner child play. If you guys just give me 1 minute. Ah.
I was waiting for you to start singing, man. Where was the singing?
Man, right now all the focus is just like memorizing the chords, like making sure that from this muscle works, and this muscle, and something's working there. I'm one thing at a time.
Wow, you've improved quite a bit since, I mean, what is like 2 months or 3 months or something?
Been about 2 months. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, because last time I saw you, you weren't really playing at all.
No.
No, you were like, I'm gonna play guitar, and then now you're playing guitar. So
I have 4 chords memorized that I could just look and see, and it's just starting to be fun. And I tell you, well, there's 2 things with that, right? Passion games. One of them is why I'm so passionate about it. I saw a brother on the beach, Brother Orpheus, and this was about 2 years ago, maybe no, a year and a half. We were in Puerto Viejo, and I saw him playing the guitar on the beach, like full moon behind him. He's playing the guitar, and his baby Magnolia couldn't really walk yet, and she's holding onto the guitar to brace herself. He's holding the guitar, holding her, and he's playing. And I just told myself that I'm gonna learn guitar, so when I have a baby coming into the world, I can sing and play sounds into the baby, into the womb. And that's the why for guitar. And that's what just keeps reminding, okay, nope, it's not an option. I'm playing. I'm going to push through. I'm going to keep practicing. And then that's the why that keeps pushing me to do what I said I would do. And then the passion comes. You know what comes to mind when the passion is that I've been a little busy this last week, and so I haven't been doing my 10 or 15 minutes every morning practicing. And so I'm going to get up early and do that. And I think the passion really comes when we start to feel what it's like to do what we said we would do, to have the outcome, the fulfilled outcome of what we said we would do, what we said we would create, starting to see it and feel it and hear it, having that fulfillment, that causes a lot of passion. Yeah.
Yeah, I could resonate with that. Been getting lots of things done on that big old Y. Feels really good.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you guys. So, Ticon, why don't you give yourself a quick intro and then maybe share what's alive for you in your passion game, and then Soul, quick intro and share what's alive for you, or what are you seeking, what's not alive, like just what comes to mind in passion game. So let's do like 2 minutes Ticon and then 2 minutes to Soul.
Sounds good. Well, awesome. Thanks everybody for watching this video. Soul, for being here. Appreciate it. Costa Rica, you can call me Ticon Tres Rios. In the States, I go by Tycon. I've been running a community for the last 10 years, and we created an open source nomadic community model. And I went to Merlin's Find Your Why 2 years ago. This will be my third one coming up. And in the workshop, I got extremely connected to my purpose. I was already on the path, but the clarity is what really came through. And what sparked from the first one is a clarity on taking this work that I had been doing for like 8 years and turning it into books and trainings. And currently I have assembled a team of 5, counting me, who've committed to this journey. And we meet every week. And we all committed to doing 4 or 5 hours outside of the meeting every week on this collaboration to bring these books and training to life. And once I put the call out there, it was filled with awesome people who came back with the same passion and the same dream, and to the capacity where they were willing to share responsibility and share risk. And they're all putting in their own energy, their own time, their own money to support this vision. And it's phenomenal. And so we're looking at, in the next 3 months, about holding our first month-long gathering in person, where our goal is to publish the first book and the first module of training. And so I've went from the Find Your Why to creating a detailed 7 to 10 year plan, month to month, step to step, progress to progress. And it involves not only the publishing of those books and the training, but also the formation of several other farms and the support of several other farms beyond that. And yeah, the accomplishment that, I'm seeing, like, now that I'm setting these realistic goals and timeframes, and they're coming complete, and now new ones are coming on board, and now I'm expanding. And I got a list with Merlin. I got a list with the Nomadic Council. I'm here in Arkansas on the NWA family farm. I got a list here. I'm supporting several other farms, Diamante Luz and the home farm. And there's potentially some other things in the works as well. And so they're all syncing up. And now that this clarity has come, a lot about the causing, which we'll talk about in the workshop, it has really become clear. And I've put the call out, and in the nomadic community, it's about decentralized leadership. So I put the call out to the network, and I was like, yo, I'm calling for seasons and trunks and who's on board. And now people are showing up, and they're like, I'll lead it and I'll be responsible. And so now all the things that were on my plate and I thought were my responsibility are like, there's people stepping up and saying, no, I'll take that. And so yeah, now I'm working with 5 groups of 5 people on 5 different missions that they're all taking the mission on their shoulders. And now I got 25 people like working on 5 different avenues and marking forward to those dates of completion. And so now I feel like ridiculously confident that well, I'm still growing, but now when I set deadlines and dates and goals, I feel super confident that they're gonna get done. So thanks for listening. That's me.
Wow. You know, that not to step over that, T Cone, like you brought up the word causing, and so I think we'll circle back after Soul. I think after Passion Game we'll talk about causing. So you got a passion game, you got things that you're lit up and inspired about. You got really clear on how to accomplish those games in the last Find Your Why. And now what you have going on is 5 groups of 5 people playing different games, and you have leaders for these different groups. So now your vision became a bigger vision of everyone involved, and it's a unified vision of a passion game. And you have leaders stepping into a place. So basically, you're causing leaders that are causing your passion game, and it's their passion game and your passion game all united.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think makes you? Because here's the thing: we can teach people how to get that accomplished. We can give the nuts and bolts for starting a career, a dream team, a business, whatever that is. And yet, the one thing that is I believe is that if we can do it on our own, it's probably not a big enough game. So we're going to require a team. If in the shortest words possible, what makes you different, and what makes you able to build a dream team to fulfill on your dreams and your passion games?
To be like super down to the core and vulnerable and true about it was that through the forgiveness work in the workshop, I was able to liberate energy in which ultimately were stories that were holding me back. And when I saw these limiting beliefs, these stories that I was holding, when we worked through the different exercises in the activity, it kind of changed the way that I believed in myself. And when the subtle energy of my underlying emotion was clear, then when I was speaking about these things, there was no the ability for them to receive it was so clear that they could feel inherently what the mission was. It required way less words, and they were like activated by the certainty of the energy that I carried. Is that resonating? Does that make sense?
Well, let's practice a tool from the retreat of Recreate. Soul, what did you get from his answer on building a dream team? What did you get from that?
Thanks for asking, Merlin, and also T Cone. Thanks for sharing. Really cool to hear your story, even though I missed the middle of it because of my connectivity. I just wanted to acknowledge your words, though. You have a very poetic way of speaking. So, on the one hand, I was definitely just captivated by your cadence, but to pull meaning from your response, it sounded like through your own inner light, you could bring connectivity to other people, which also sounds like finding your own strength to bring out other people's strengths. And when you said subtle emotions, I thought that was a really beautiful and powerful awareness observation to have.
Yeah, man. That was right on.
Looks like Soul's connection. Mr. Riley joined us.
Hey, brothers.
Right.
Yeah, what's up, bud?
Not much. To be honest, I'm dead tired, but I was like, I can't miss hopping on at least for a minute. I've been driving for 2 days straight to Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Perfect example for this conversation, because if you're really connected to a passion game, I believe we have infinite energy. So, Riley, what is a passion game right now that makes your heart beat?
I think he just dropped too. His face is
I'm out,
frozen.
I'm out here in the
There he
jungle,
is. There he is.
people in the state. Riley?
I
Hey.
I was hearing what you were starting to say. Yeah, about the infinite energy. That sort of hit me. I was like, I gotta get on.
Yeah. What was that? What was that?
I think it was the. Honestly, I think within me, it's just like the showing up for something that I believe in, and particularly showing up for the process of supporting my brothers and their passion games. So I know this is a passion game of yours, sharing this. And also I invited Soul. Hey, Soul. I met Soul at a Buddhist monastery. And so I wanted to also hop on and just connect and be of support, at least be a smiling presence in the space. Even if I don't have a ton of bandwidth to focus on my passion game today, I guess just being here is part of it. Just being in community and showing up, I suppose.
And then Riley, like, what is your passion game that you're playing right now? Is there something that you're doing besides eating, sleeping, and working that makes your heart beat when you think about it?
All right. How's the connectivity on your guys' ends?
I'm good. Did I fade away or was that you?
I think it sort of all just went away. Yeah.
What was that, Tico? When just a minute ago, was I disappeared?
I can hear all of you.
Okay. All right. So Riley, so is there something right now that you're doing with your time that you're excited about? Is there a passion game that you're playing right now in your life?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple. One, Corey and I are still building out that retreat for the end of summer. So that's been awesome. Definitely been learning along the way. And honestly, it's just fun to start a new project. Like I think I'm really taking to, I'll have periodic moments of sort of anxiety about it. And am I good enough? Do I have stuff to offer? And then I'll just remember like, oh, like actually the whole game, the game itself is just to do the thing. It's just the process. It really has nothing to do with like how many people come or how much of a complete product I am. I mean, I'm never going to be a complete product as a facilitator. And so that's been exciting. And yeah, and then right now I'm sort of touching base in the next few days because I just landed in Boulder with what are probably coming back to and selecting a couple and defining a couple new passion games to go alongside of that and fill my time for the next couple months.
Riley, are you open to some magic?
Yeah.
When you said you're playing this game and you're learning a lot along the way, and you know that as a facilitator, there's still going to always be more to learn, but it's all about doing the thing and going through the process.
Yeah.
Does doing the thing and going through the process excite you and light you up?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, because your energy didn't really seem lit up and inspired when you said that the first time.
I'm so tired right now. That's probably why. Okay. No, I am. I'm stoked to be doing it. And one thing, yeah, and I'm stoked to, honestly, I guess if I were going to be frank, the other things I'm looking at doing for this summer are, the one I'm most energized on right now is probably still needs to be defined, but it's really just like really the deep spiritual practice and like building my personal connection to the as you would call it, the place of nothingness, of emptiness, that space, becoming undefined, and honestly just finding more freedom in my mind and in my body, like that, in connection to divinity, like that right now is like in the journey of self-love. We could call that it, actually. Maybe that's the passion game, you know, is to become like super deeply like intimate, like my emotional body, my physical body, my mental body, and a master of each. So I think that's what's really exciting me right now, actually. And that came back into orbit after I went down to Mazunte, Mexico, and did a month of yoga training down there.
All right. Yeah, beautiful. So one thing I like to share to sprinkle into the conversation is that when I go in my head and I'm not a space of nothing, or I'm not a space of full creation, like inner child, gonna build a treehouse tomorrow, the next day a swing, and then we're gonna do a slide, and then we're gonna have an ice cream machine in the treehouse, and everybody gets an ice cream. Like when I'm not in that space, I ask myself, where am I not bringing fun to what I'm doing? Like what part of the process can I take out and put in fun? Yeah. Just putting that in. Beautiful. So with that, Soul, do you feel complete, Mr. Riley? Is he paused? Riley, do you feel complete? Your phone's muted.
Nah, he's there.
I'm getting dizzy walking around.
He's asking if you felt complete, Riley.
Okay, he couldn't hear. So, Mr. Soul, passion games. Tell us about a passion game that's alive in your life, or an area where it's not alive.
Great. Thanks for asking again. I'm going to do my best to stay connected throughout this response. I love the use of the word game, and I really want to keep that word and the energy of it alive within me as I continue searching. And it feels like I've only just begun the game of finding these games in life. I just graduated from university with a degree in Spanish and psychology, and just graduated a month ago. And so this is the beginning of the rest of life outside of structured academia. And I've found some games within connection to people and conversation. I've found games within music and a lot of music community. But most of my energy in recent time has been directed inwards rather than outwards. I feel like I've put a lot of work into the games other people have made for me, and I'm trying to find my own form of self-fulfillment and entertainment and fun. And I love you talking about the swing set and the playground and the ice cream, and how to redesign how you're looking at things to have a little bit more fun. That is a great goal that I'd love to adopt from your own wording into my own pursuits. So it's all open from here on out, and I'm really grateful to be in this call and channeling this type of energy.
Awesome. Got a question for you. Something that you would love to put in, or that you...
Can you repeat it? Repeat the question, please.
Is putting more fun and play into your passion games something that you would love to do, or something that you will do?
Yes, both. That is something I would love to do, and therefore it is something I will do. Thanks for giving me that actionable question.
Yeah. You feel the energy in your body?
Yeah, absolutely.
That goes back to the creation energy that Tikkun was talking about. Like, start to speak. We speak in the future. We remove the blocks so that when we speak things into existence, there's nothing there. And when there is there, we be honest and vulnerable, so we disappear it and keep creating magic with our words and our thoughts.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Um, so where do we want to take this call? Where should we steer the magic carpet? You got something for us, Mr. Soul? Mr. Riley? Scone?
What if
Piece behind me was a passion game from the last Find Your Why. This mural was a passion game that somebody painted out of the last Find Your Why.
it's super epic too? Did you do 2 walls or just one?
Just one so far.
The one on your bedroom, right?
No, the one in the bedroom wall is going to be a tree of life.
Okay, cool. Such a cool space there too that Merlin's been making there that we'll host this retreat in. The Mosin or Moroccan Temple of Zen is a really quite zenful place. And he's put a lot of love into it and a lot of unique flavors and flares. I really enjoy being in the space, and it's got ocean view, man, from the mountains. And the sun doesn't come up till like 8:30 because it's next to the mountain. It's such good morning temperatures. I really love being there. Yeah, I can't actually wait. There's only a couple months left. I had an idea though, and it was like maybe talking about like passions. Like, what are some of those passions? What are some of those dreams that maybe you've had that you just like threw away because you thought they were too big?
Myself or Soul or opening it up?
Anyone that felt, anything as a response to a question like that. And maybe you even take a second, like 30 seconds, 15 seconds to sit with that for a second and ask yourselves, where's a dream I had that I just told myself it was too big and I gave it up? And asking yourself if really you're that small and you'd want to let that go so easily.
Things coming up for me, to be honest. And I've done a lot of work around communication and agreements and being held accountable and holding others accountable. And as I walk this walk of this dream of creating an eco village, and there's 2 things coming up. One is I'm realizing my desire to like hold on to people in my life and in the boat, even though they don't keep their word or do what they say they're going to do. I'll in the past, I would have allowed myself to deal with more drama and more of people not keeping their word. And it doesn't allow the energy to surround myself by people who are their word, who do play big games, who do do everything they say they're going to do and more. And they're really showing up as a team member. So one thing is I'm realizing how important it is that if I really love myself, then that way I'd love the dream of creating a self-generative eco village that in order to love myself, I must say no to people who aren't willing to be their word and walk the walk. And the reason why, and add to that, I've sometimes questioned myself, am I going to be able to manage that many people in agreements or holding space for that bigness when there's just the lack of a better words, I feel like there's such a long bridge to get people from where they're at to being able to play full out, walk their walk, make agreements, keep their word, and just show up and be responsible to play big. I'm not meeting that many people. And
they're really powerful share there, Merlin.
Thanks, Merlin.
Ooh, I wanna dive into that like we would at the retreat, but I don't know if it's the time.
let's keep it real, man. Like, what's there for you?
Where you started with essentially a little bit of the friction, right? You're like, oh, I'm having this friction. People aren't showing up the way they're supposed to show up. I have this dream, but it counts on these people who aren't showing up. Am I going to be able to get the dream done? I'm looking at this distance here. It's a long ways, and these people are freaking like crawling on the ground. Are they going to make the journey? And that that's a little separation, right? Because you know you're going to create that dream, but right now there's some resistance, and that's creating that doubt story, right? Like, what do I do? What does it have to do to get to the end? But we're making a village, like that's already done. And, and so there's a subtlety in there for your role of what you have to do and you have to do to make that village model. And yeah, you're uncovering it already every day.
You know what I'm aware of is the insecurity of you know, am I good enough? Which is the same thing that's always pushed me to create so much, is that driving force, that am I good enough? And I'm letting this, when I hold people accountable, you take a 50-50 chance of them not liking you and not wanting to play and not wanting to be your friend, and take it personal instead of be a thank you for holding them accountable and seeing them as big. And I'm seeing that if I hold certain people accountable, they're just going to run away and say, okay, well, I'm not good enough, so I just leave. Or like little things around me that I love some people and I can't fully hold them accountable the way I would like to. So I'm holding some back to just allow, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, like holding back in fear of people not wanting to play, not wanting to, I guess, not a little bit of like, they won't like me.
Yeah.
So then I play small. You know, I'm letting certain people not run a business successfully. I'm letting people have a retreat space that I'm not going to book because there are people working for them. The communication, like I'm letting people play small by not being straight with them. And I'm letting other people's opinions of like, oh, he's this way, that way, get in the way of just being straight with people and letting them take it how they're going to take it. I'm allowing it to let me play small. Yeah.
What would your red letter say?
Be nice and let it go.
No, the red letter, not the blue letter.
Let that drag that.
Yeah, all the words, but it would be, you know what? Yeah, great question. So if I was to be honest, it would be like, quit judging people and honor where they're at. And if I have a request, ask with love and give them a full chance to show up.
I think that's still your blue letter, bud. But I get it in there. I feel what you're saying, and I think when you maybe take some time from this, we'll come back to it. Circle into that red letter and see, because we're talking about multiple peoples and multiple energies, but there a generalized story there for you, right? Because each one of these people are different, but it's all playing into a common story that at least that I'm perceiving. And so if you're able to underline that story in red, it will make that conversion to blue more integratable, because you can see what commonality you're throwing into each one of these people, because they're each different, but they're all kind of hitting a similar string. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, the action or the story is different people, different things, but it's causing the same thing in me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
look at Merlin here too as well. We're on a call for a workshop, and one of the reasons I'm so like glad to be a part of this and support this so much is because the leaders or the facilitators, they're not on some level different. They're doing the work, as you see, and we're in even in the space, we're holding each other to this level of certainty and clarity. And so there's three of us, and we hold a triad, and we hold each other accountable to make sure that we're reflecting to these deeper levels and really seeing the process that's unfolding, because we're implementing this in our everyday life. When Merlin and Talia and I, we meet together 4 days before this retreat, we're going to do 4 days of just this work together and really prime ourselves energetically to hold space for others. And during the whole retreat, the three of us will hold each other to this level of certainty so that we can't allow any of these stories to affect our leadership. And that was one thing that you can even see Merlin still right now. He's still sitting with it. He's not letting it go. He's really putting his full presence so that he can fully integrate this part of himself so that he can show up more fully for the collective.
Yeah.
And yeah, take lots of time with it, because this is something we've been talking about for a little bit, Merlin. So you don't have to come up with it right now. I was just reminding you that I can see it, and maybe circle back there in your meditation in the morning, and make some time for yourself tomorrow to see what you can discover.
Yeah, I'm looking for more forgiveness work to release some energy.
Yeah, I've been thoroughly preparing myself for the forgiveness work. For those who are watching the call and so, like, I've been going through a divorce. Divorce is over, but I've been going through a major life change over the past couple of years. And I find myself like currently living in a household with my mom. I'm 37 years old. And I haven't lived with her since I'm 18. And so there's been a lot of really challenging emotional relationships, a lot of like super deep traumas that I never remembered, all surfacing because I now I'm finding myself in a difficult environment. So I'm utilizing these tools. I'm coming to this retreat to do the forgiveness work, because it's mega powerful, and that's why you'll see me there in July, and then again in March the next year, because over the next couple of years I'm counting and investing in this work, because it's really grown benefits for me. It's huge benefits. And before being able to stay here in this space without having these like debilitating emotions, like super powerful traumas about abandonment and all kinds of things would wreck me. But now I'm able to like face it every day, and even not only face it, but still be exposed to the same patterns that were triggering these traumas, and not crumble, which is nice. It's super nice. And I also see the end of the tunnel too, because I can just feel like before some of these things would just devastate me, but now I'm like, there it is. Okay. All right. And, I'm back in the flow. And so I know every time I've actually went deeper as well, deeper into the work, and allowed myself to go deeper into, past traumas and memories, and surface things that I'd never even remembered. I hadn't remembered for a long time. And during the inner child ceremony, both years, but specifically the first year, I had a profoundly deep experience where during the ceremony, I had like this vision of my whole childhood, starting from like when I was like 2 or 3 years old. And the vision showed me these pictures that had all been spread out through my life, that kind of just in my subconscious, but each picture was a different stage of my childhood growth. And with each picture, it intuitively, just with the looking, I could intuit what the conditions were for this little Tycon, right? And it was like 3 years old, and 7 and 10 and 12. And I was able to see this whole story unfold that I had never, I had forgotten or disconnected from. And just that one experience, I've had 30 profound experiences at this retreat, but that one was remarkable for me because it put together a comprehension about myself, like my own being that I was like completely unaware of. And I'm like, wow, like how did I not even understand my own not even understand, like have any connection to my story, my life, and what created the situations that is this being called Tychon, right? So it's, I can't, like I could go on literally the whole call and talk about Find Your Why because it's the container itself. After we do the forgiveness work, it's liberated. Everybody like accesses this energy that has been dormant for such a long time, and the energy of the container is, oh, it's alive. It's so alive. And then when people connect to their passions and find their whys, it's like freaking, it's undescribable. It's like a party all the time, every second, and everybody's just like so elated and in the like the highest of vibrations. And yeah, just like I said, I'm super stoked. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, thank you guys for sharing. Definitely like hearing all this. I'm like looking back through, all the like passion game templates we worked with, and it's been a while since I took a look at them. So it's really grounding, actually. I think one of the things I really took away was when like the structure is so helpful, that you guys, that Merlin and Tychon, you guys offered and facilitated. Like I feel one thing I'm experiencing now looking back and using the structure is, like I went back to, what is my, who I am as a new way of being. I just read that. And who I am as a new way of being is a deep well of presence, nourishing unconditional love, trust, and surrender. A collaborator with great spirit and a warrior for the light.
And that's, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, reading that like really grounded me. Like that's what it's about, like that's what I feel that. I feel that in my heart, and it energizes me to connect with and utilize the structure, not as like some burden, but as something that emanates from this, deep self-love. Like I was speaking to an attorney at this retreat. I was recently, or not a retreat, a festival, and he said, when I mastered self-love, I became a finisher. And I feel that's, even right now, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like I desire to work with this structure because it's been a while since I sat down with it, and I can already feel it like channeling my energy in a really fulfilling way.
Yeah. Did he drop?
That's an awesome pause. Look at that. That's dropped the mic. Just
he's back. I was gonna say the your new way of being. I was like, yeah, and that's why Riley's my homie.
Facts.
And I wanted to remind you too that I offered you some guidance for your retreat, and if you want to call me at any time and get any support, that I'm down, and I'd be happy to support in any way possible.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I think one thing I'm encountering is difficulty asking for help and delegating.
Delegating to your team, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like sort of at the phase where, so it's like, Corey and I, and then we're like at the phase where we're starting to call in that dream team. And I think even with Corey, like he's been off the grid a lot. And I've just been sort of taking on like all the work, or like a large portion of the work, because I have been on grid, and also because I figured, this will be good for me to learn. And at the same time, now I'm feeling I would love some support. And and I know like the tech stuff is and marketing is not Corey's forte. And we have like Allison, who's, you know, willing to help to some extent with marketing. So I'm calling in a meeting with her and Corey like later this week. But yeah, I think what I need to do is get more specific.
When he comes back to the call, let's ask him to paint the picture of this retreat for us.
And clarify the roles of his dream team before that call. They get really clear on their roles.
So Riley, you're back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yep.
So we're inviting you to tell us about this retreat that you're planning.
Yeah, for sure.
And just a reminder, and share with us from that place of you already being completed on that last day.
Yeah.
Right? And what it feels like when you just completed that retreat. You got freaking a dozen people who had the best time of their lives. Right now, you're just telling us about how that event went. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so just concluded the most epic retreat in the history of the world. Called Embody Your Truth. And yeah, we gathered called in a group of aligned, you know, heartful beings to really share the medicine of connecting intimately with one's heart, with one's body, with one's mind. The medicine of finding one's truth within oneself, and then the power and empowerment to speak and share and create and sing and dance that truth with reckless abandon across the face of the earth. And so we did that. And yeah, I feel very just super fulfilled and connected to my co-creators, and just also to all the beautiful aligned beings that came. And I feel expressed in my dharma and accomplished for having stepped up into a challenge and affirmed that, you know, that I could do this.
How many people were on your dream team?
On the dream team, I think there's like 4 people on the dream team. So
you plus 4, right?
Yeah, so there's obviously Corey, and then we're calling in a chef and photographer. Ideally, that's going to be Matisse. Need to have that conversation with him.
There we go.
And then hopefully we need a female. I'm calling in my friend Esme.
You need a female, like you need a girlfriend?
We need a feminine energy to hold some space. And that's actually a good question, sort of to define. Like I remember, Merlin, you defined well that, you know, Talia was holding the resonance of love and sort of that feminine energy, and then you were the structure, the rhythm, the driver. And I feel that is something that actually Corey and I could define amidst ourselves a little bit better. And yeah, so then I think, calling in Esme as a collaborator, would love her to offer. I need to see what she can offer and see how it aligns with our mission. So I need to have that conversation.
Maybe we can take a second, and I got into you're filling those roles with dream people, and you're trying to make it happen. But ultimately, the energy, because we might want certain people. This person would be cool, but you just need the people that have the passion. And it might be this certain person, but there might be somebody listening to this video right now who is that feminine voice. Oh, is he back? You back? Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Riley, yeah. No, he can't hear me. What? Can you hear me, Merlin?
Yeah.
All right, so apparently Riley the universe doesn't want him to hear it. But for everybody else listening and coming back to Riley,
Uh,
notice in there the brain was trying to fill and solve the problem, right? It's like, oh, what about this person? And energetically, when we describe with the visceralness of what we're calling out, I'm manifesting, I'm creating, we're connecting with the most divine feminine presence that resonates with our mission. She's going to hold the space to such an amazing capacity that she's going to exceed beyond my wildest measure. She's gonna be excited. She's gonna do it out of the love and passion of her heart because she supports this mission and she's there to support the global transformation. And maybe she's whatever other details that you're really calling out for. And rather than having the mind close the picture and try to force and grab, let's let the universe and God and the source and all that conspire with us to create what's in the highest alignment by not restricting it because we have to control it or create it. Let's put it out there, and then when that person comes, I could be somebody right now listening to this and calling Riley next week. That's that perfect feminine energy. But when you could just tell, and not to break you down or criticize, I just really love the example, Riley. When we were looking in there, you could feel the energy of his trying to piece together, right? And energetically, if I'm talking to somebody else and I'm like, well, I think maybe this and maybe that, and then they're not going to feel that full entry pathway. They're going to be like, well, that person is in their process and I'll stand over here until I'm invited inside, right? But when we openly call, like, no, this is universe. Like I'm calling these people in, and then also, which we will do in the retreat as well, we will then go into some strategizing on how to create that. But if we don't start with the openness and like the call, then the energy of our call is going to be narrow. We start with that open call, and then we meet it with also some discipline and some clear communication, and that's what helps bridge both worlds. And correct me or add anything to that, Merlin, to bring it to the highest vibration.
yeah. Thank you. So and so I want to hear more what you have. And anybody who's creating a passion game, whether it's a business, a family, a environment, an investment, whatever that is, or a podcast, or just whatever our passion games are, learning guitar, right? So if I'm learning the guitar, Riley, and I know that I would like some accountability for a guitar master to teach me some tricks with guitar that are fun and fluid and not so structured to having to learn songs right now. Now, get in the manifestation. I don't have like Helios or Sarah or waiting for Corey to come back. And then I'm going to learn guitar. Or when Brother Holt next door, when he's available, then I'm going to have guitar lessons. It's more so the manifestation and the clarity behind the role of a guitarist that can teach me tricks, that can hold me accountable for some meetings once a week where we jam out and we flow with some structure and then creation flow. So when I'm creating a dream team, I'm creating the things that I don't know how to do, the what ifs, how am I going to get that done? And also the things that I'm not so excited to do, but I know that they require being completed for the game to be fulfilled. So it's the what ifs, the I don't know how to do that, the that's not fun, but I know we should do it, and that category. And I list all those things out. And then I start to brag. I start to see where it molds and like creating a description of somebody. And then I call that out. I call out the description of what that human being or an animal or a fairy or a magician or a leprechaun whatever archetypes are. I call out for that, and then I think of the people that are in my life, or like Tico said on this Facebook Live, like call out. People wrap this call up with a 30-second call out for all of us. I think of the people and I ask around, hey, I'm looking for someone who fits this mold. Can you think of anybody? Hey, can you think of anybody? Then I put that on my Facebook. I put that on my social media. I put that on WhatsApp. And then people just start coming in. And so I clarify a good amount of the role. And then I see what people are passionate about the role of the game. Does that land?
Yeah. Love that. Yeah.
And the conversation is just a conversation. It's not a text, right, Tico? It's not a text or a messenger. It's setting up a conversation to create the opportunity of what the experience will be. Not a text, but a text is to have a conversation so we can create this vision, this passion game, this dream, and see if that and let them know, hey, I see you as this role. Are you interested?
Wow.
So that being said, Riley, what if you had 30 seconds, Riley, to call out for that dream role that you know that you would love to have on your team to play retreat? And I don't know where the retreat is going to be. It's you and an amazing musician, Corey, super loving man. What, 30 seconds, or Kasi, what is that person? Create that person. Make them come alive and are listening.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, calling in. I really want to call in an epic DJ, like who's gonna create like an like ecstatic dance set in the woods after a cacao ceremony. And it would be amazing if this DJ also, like, I would love for them to be like holding this like super bubbly, loving, feminine energy that is like super attuned to the emotional worlds of everyone showing up at the retreat. It's super encouraging and inspiring of everyone's embodiment. And on that note, I'm calling in, I think one thing I'm calling in is more support for my personal embodiment practices so that I can continue to deepen in them and offer more and more deep offerings at the retreat. So I just thought of two things, like one, learning opportunities, and two, co-creators. And both of these things are going to really support the retreat. But I would love to learn from like like somebody who has like really blended mindfulness and movement and sound into one modality. Because that's actually the perfect fusion of what Corey and I are sort of doing in a way that's, at least right now, separate. And I want to learn how to fuse these modalities: mindfulness, meditation, movement, and sound. And how do we create like a super liberating journey and using those modalities together?
Ooh, and so it shall be. So I heard a DJ movement, really passionate DJ movement, ecstatic dance in the forest after a cacao ceremony. And I heard an accountability partner on the dream team who's attracted to the spiritual work, the transformational practices, to co-create with you the transformational side of the retreat, and then a DJ musician movement to bring to up spiral the music, sound, and movement side of the retreat.
Yeah.
So if you crystallize those two, then call out for who knows this person and see what comes to you. And then will you go on to this live feed when those two people reach out to you and let us know how that went?
I'll let you know.
B.
Yeah.
Where?
What was the question?
Where's the retreat?
It's going to be, finalizing the retreat center this weekend. So it's going to be most likely north of Boulder, about 40 minutes in the mountains.
North of Boulder, my DJ friends, T-Cone's DJ friends, Souls, north of Boulder, a retreat experience, be a co-creator, cacao dance festival in the forest. You get to be the leader of this game. Reach out to Rah Rah Riley right here, and you're going to meet some amazing people there. And somebody who's really close to their heart and passionate about some practices that they've been like really anchoring in, and they've just been really, really calling to share that with a group of people. Get in touch with Riley. He's got a place for you, and they're creating an epic gathering near Boulder, and you're invited to go create and talk to Riley about this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Boom.
It's done.
That's
Done.
I like it. And then Riley, have those really clearly written and put it out to the world like magic spells, and let's see who else comes in.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And that being said, I think we'll wrap up. We're at 111.53, which at 50 makes 11, 111.11. And let's do a 30-second wrap up or short. Like, what are we calling out for our dream team? Let's name one or two passion games, and really short, what are we calling in to fulfill on those passion games so that the world knows and the universe knows what we're calling in. We'll go Ticone, Soul, and then myself.
I'm opening the portal and the doors for calling in the next wave trunk members of the nomadic community, brave, proud community leaders coming together to start to spread nomadic community, places of love and joy across the globe. So it's already happening. I have people reaching out to me all last week, but I'm calling out and causing, let's say, 244 people who want to create communities across the globe, across the US, who want to learn a open source nomadic community model in which they can manage communications, emotions, and agreements to create transformational spaces of growth, love, and joy. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it happening.
Ooh. So, what's your call?
Ticone, I'm so excited for you to meet those 244. I know they're all going to be awesome. The game I'm playing is the game of people and family and friends in my life working on who I pull closer and who I let step away. And I would like to call so openly all individuals that have some alignment with my spirit in some way. And let's just talk about that and resonate with each other and feel the beauty of connection between people. Kind of a big call, so I don't have a number to put to it, but I would be content with 1 or 1,000 deep conversations. That's my call.
Wow. Sounds like Soul podcast. Well, this is cool stuff. I feel I've already attracted and called in one of most of my dream team creators. Now it's to cultivate those relationships and strengthen them. I'm calling out for an apprentice, someone to come live here in Costa Rica, a masculine and a feminine, to be learning two different sides of me and being on the land, learning about themselves, learning about self-love, learning about growing food and holding space for people and themselves and their family. So a masculine and feminine apprentice to cultivate the skills they have and take it to the next level, and guide, guide circles, guide people, growing food and growing relationships amongst humans. And those are the two apprentices I'm calling in, and also about 11 more people for this next fly retreat here in Costa Rica. Calling in 11 people who really, really want to take their life on, master forgiveness, put the past in the past, connect so clear and pure to their inner child, and really connect to some passion games that they deserve to have in this life. And that's what's coming in. Hello, hello. Oh, there. Okay, well, I'll be on the call. I'm gonna answer the call. I have to go, you guys. There's like 15 people coming to join my dream team, and I've got to make space for them. So this call was really, really fun, and I really appreciate all your guys' time. Love you guys, and thank you, Riley. Thank you, Ticone. Thank you, Soul. Berlin, and thank you for playing passion games, and let's keep this conversation alive, and let's touch somebody. Let's ask some questions that connect somebody to their passion in these next few days, because in the world of karma, when we cause other people to cause and have the things in their life they love, the universe is going to send us something back by law of nature, by law of karma. Yeah. All right. Anything for you guys to close? Ciao, bellos. Ciao, bellos.
Much love, Riley. Nice to meet you, Soul. I really hope I see you in July. Merlin, I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye. I gotta go